Hi, class. Brooke again. We're going to talk about the case conceptualization for Mike and Zaid using experiential family therapy. So, as I stated in my last video, obviously there's some issues with communications, there's a lot of issues with trust. And I think that there's some insecure attachments that have developed as a result of, you know, these affairs and these other dynamics that are playing out with this couple. So I think to ensure that that happens, there's a couple of techniques that I would want to try with this family, this couple. I did want to point out that one of the things that's mentioned with couples specifically in experiential family therapy is that couples who remain together will eventually have to reach accommodations. There are going to be things that they may not agree on, which is okay. But finding that common ground for them to want to stay together will be important. So that will be kind of my focus, I feel like, with moving forward with Zayd and Mike and helping them work through some of these issues. And I think that the first big thing that will need to be addressed is that trusting component, to allow them to be able to trust me as their therapist to help them and be able to openly and freely talk about some of their problems and their emotions, especially, they're suppressing a lot of this stuff. It's coming out in anger, it's coming out in avoidance. So there's some healthy emotions that need to be expressed in a safe space. And so it'll be important for the therapist to create that environment for them. So in order to break down those emotional defenses that they have, it needs to be done through some kind of expression. And what's really cool about the experiential family therapy techniques is that the techniques are almost kind of fun. They're meant to, like I said, bring out emotion. Emotion for experiential family therapists is nothing that they're worried about. They actually will encourage fighting and things like that as long as it's healthy, which maybe that may be what this couple needs, is they need to have like a legit healthy fight. We don't know if that's something that they're having, but it does seem like, Zayd really just wants to be out drinking, having fun with his friends, and Mike's at home by himself, potentially, suffering from an illness, and his partner has absolutely no empathy towards him whatsoever, which I think is furthering that trust and those issues, because he's not feeling like his partner is there and supporting him. And I also think that, for the flip side, I talk a lot about Mike and, feeling for his situation, but Zayd too, he married a partner and wants to be able to go out and enjoy himself, and may have thoughts that Mike was going to be the guy to go with him, and now he doesn't. He's settling down into the married life, and maybe feeling like he got a little bit gypped on that things were different prior to. So this is all stuff that could potentially come out in therapy. One of the things that they kind of built off of the techniques for experiential family therapy was kind of off of the psychodrama. And the psychodrama is basically when you are recreating a situation that has occurred in somebody's life, and you kind of replay it out. And this is an opportunity to kind of reenact a situation that has occurred previously or even presently, but in a safe space. And it's really meant to allow for individuals, in this case, Zayd and Mike, to see each other from differing perspectives, and to kind of reframe those experiences that they may be feeling upset or resentful about. So one of the things that I think would be really cool for this couple would be to engage them in a role therapy session, to where Zayd could be reenacting an experience that they had when Mike didn't want to go out. A conversation that may have been troubling or upsetting. I also think role playing a potential situation, around that affair that happened. It would appear to me that those feelings related to the affair were never truly resolved, which is why Mike is still upset about it. He's feeling insecure about what happened, and whatever is happening with Zaid feeling upset, Zaid isn't feeling any emotion or any empathy, it would appear, towards Mike having those reservations about that affair. So this would be an opportunity for them to, I think, really express themselves. Another thing that I think would be interesting too is to engage them with some art therapy, especially with the lack of trust. They may not be the greatest at wanting to verbally communicate their feelings or their thoughts. So maybe using a form of art therapy to allow for expression and to express themselves through art may be a creative way to get them to open up about some of their feelings if they, seem to be struggling just verbally talking about things. So I think that might be really helpful. You could paint or sculpt with clay, anything that they could potentially use in art to represent their feelings and their emotions. Another one that I found on Wellmind, or I think it's like Very Wellmind, and I thought it was really cool, is adventure therapy. And this occurs where people become active participants in events, and whether it's games or going out into the wilderness or going, doing something outdoors like a ropes course even. And I think that this might be kind of fun for this couple particularly, because one of the chief complaints that Zaid has towards Mike is that he doesn't want to go out and do anything. And Mike seems to want to be able to spend time one-on-one with Zaid. So this could almost be an opportunity for them to go out and do something together. None of Zaid's friends are involved. Mike gets to be a part of it, and they get to go and do something that will require them to communicate and to trust each other, especially doing something like a ropes course, to really encourage each other to get through those things and see what happens. See if they communicate well. See if they can regain some of that trust, or have some of those emotions come out through doing an activity like that. So I think that would be really, really cool to have them do together as a couple. Let me think if I'm missing anything here. And again, I think that if you did these specific techniques on this couple and allow them to have breakthroughs in their communication and maybe come up with some compromises, I'm sure that it's not going to be perfect, but to decide if there's, do they want kids? It appears that Mike does want kids. Why doesn't Zaid want kids? And allow them to have those healthy communication situations occur will help them to regain some of that trust in their relationship, aka to redevelop secure attachments again, which is, I think, one of the main problems with this couple. So I think that would be my approach for working with Zaid and Mike. All right, everybody.